Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Indy.
Bit of a change, thought we'd swap it around a bit. Anyway, so what's the topic of today's video?
So today we've come to the Imperial War Museum in London. Bit of an unplanned visit because we're going off to do other things afterwards. We're going to see a band called Cast. But yeah, we're here at the Imperial War Museum. It's only 15 minutes outside of Waterloo Station. It's in Lambeth, so if you are getting a tube from other parts of London, come from Lambeth. You can book tickets online for free. So if you want to come, just go online and you can reserve a time slot, which is good. Now we're going to look and see. I'm kind of in two minds about what we're going to find here, because you've got, obviously, is it a commemoration of war, celebration of war, or is it to like show you how stupid it is and how little has been learned? What do you think, Indy?
I don't know, well, it looks pretty grand to me. I mean, as any London museum is, it's pretty big. So yeah. I think it should be good. Should learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
History teacher.
I mean, what I'd hope is that it'd put people off war. But to me, that's what it should do. It should actually make people kind of horrified with history and work harder. And with what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, Israel at the moment, it disgusts me that our leaders still foster these wars, actually encourage wars to happen. It's all for profit, as we know, it's all for money. But anyway, we're going to go in with open minds and take a look. We're just going to go in, and in the grounds you can see the Shard building that is just over there, and I suppose in theory you could combine the two and go for a coffee up the top. You can take your wife up the Shard if you want, after you've been in the War Museum. Okay, standing behind me is a memorial, and it's dedicated to 27 million Soviet people that died supporting the Allies to win the Second World War. Now, there's a bit of a contradiction there. They kind of fought for us, and now they're our supposed enemy. Well done, British government. Nothing gets learned. It's frustrating. But yeah, I kind of think that this memorial means, like, when the bell tolls, it means your time's coming. And there's this guy, or body, or person, with a bell hanging over their head. So to me, it's almost like if you go to war, you're kind of biding time till the bell tolls. 27 million. Nothing ever gets learned.
Yeah, so we're just entering the north entrance of the Imperial War Museum. Let's go and get our first one.
So we're just walking in the entrance, and it looks quite impressive already. I think that's a Harrier jump jet. Yeah, because you can see the down vents, so there are things that make it hover. But then we got a Supermarine Spitfire there. And I don't know what that plane is. I think it's the first ever jet plane. I think it's a Messerschmitt, but I'm not sure. We'll have a look in a minute. And then down there we got like a cannon, a blown up car, Crestman. That looks good.
So right here we have a press Land Rover Defender from some conflict that took place in the Middle East. It looks quite beaten up by the looks of things. It's got loads of bullet dents all over it.
So this car was destroyed by a suicide bomber in Baghdad. Just look at the state of it, completely mangled. And seeing these films, cars get blown up and carry on driving. Absolute rubbish. This is what happens. So this is a German V2 missile, and they were developed towards the end of the Second World War, pilotless. And I remember my nan telling me about these. She said all the time you could hear them, it was fine. They'd even come over Portsmouth where she lived, and she said all the time you can hear them, or you could hear the engine whining, it was fine. So when the engine stopped, that's when they obviously dropped and killed people. But these ones were pilotless. The Japanese also invented one, which is actually this, but apparently they're really slow and quite easily to shoot down. So in the War Museum there's lots of exhibits and films and things like that.
Although, however, they don't really have labels on many of the things, which is, I think, the best way is how they sell their guides and programs.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So they try and sell you a program at the door, which is fair enough considering it's free. But it'd be nice to have labels to say what these boats are, what the make is.
That's the way they make money, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I suppose you've got to make money somehow. So there's lots of World War II sort of films and stuff like that. So in here there's lots of interactive displays. Things like this telling you the history of war around Europe. Which I suppose is quite interesting at the moment with what's going on. But yeah. So there's lots of artifacts and lots of memoirs and things like that. But it's also giving you the history of how war started. What's chilling is how similar the First World War, all the events that led to the First World War, are to today. What's happening today with Ukraine and Russia. Absolutely terrifying, to be quite honest with you. Okay, it's almost like history repeating itself. But as I say, this museum is surprisingly big. Really interesting. So much to see. And at the moment we're in the section for the First World War, which led to that. And I gather as you go up the floors and go to more modern conflicts. But it does make you wonder, why bother with history lessons about war? Just bring the kids here. They'll learn far more in one day than they're going to in a whole classroom in years.
Yeah, for the next one.
So there's loads of things like this book. You can't really see it here, but it's electronic, or it looks like a real book, but the pages flip electronically. Don't know if you can see it on the camera, but yeah, it's so much to see. Just gonna walk around here and see like different types of.
This side is the one section.
Yeah.
Another 5 floors.
This is like hand grenades, or are they clubs? I'm not sure. Different types of weapons, guns. Different stuff. Different quotes, all the different types of uniforms, equipment. That's what apparently a sniper wore in the First World War. It's like something from a Halloween film, to be honest. So here is Private Indy Seymour dressed up as a First World War soldier. Good God, we'd never have won, would we, with him in it? So we've got a mock-up trench. One thing I'd have liked, if they'd have actually had the gunfire, like real level sound, scare the kids to realise how terrifying it really was. But it's good how they've done the kind of silhouettes on the wall. What it looks like.
Yeah, it's where they're slept.
So Indy's demonstrating where they would sleep in the trenches. As you can see.
Not just fit, don't think John would fit.
Yeah, people were smaller in them days, don't forget, a lot of people. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm a bit stuck there.
So up there you got I think it's Tiger Moth.
Are you looking up?
What's really good as well, they've got like German posters up and Russian, things like that. Which is nice, having things from the other countries, because war ain't one-sided. And I'm sure most of the German people didn't want to fight any more than what the British did. So this is a Humber staff car from General Bernard Montgomery, apparently. That's what he drove about in. As usual, the generals and stuff like that, they're not the ones getting shot at usually, are they? Yeah, he welcomed his troops back home. Nice of him. That was the way, innit? Poor people go out and fight and get killed. Oh, I do actually. So that is Steve McQueen's motorbike, or the one that you would have seen similar to in The Great Escape, when he escaped from the prisoner camp in famous scenes. The one that he tried to jump the fence of. But apparently, according to my dad, who unfortunately is no longer with us, he said it was an actual motorbike used. Still cool though. So there we have the Sherman tank. I'm sure Sherman tank was what Oddball was.
It's called the Willy Pusher.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Oddball, Donald Sutherland, was driving in the film Kelly's Heroes. It was a bit of a comedy war film, but I suppose you've got to find a bit of humour if you're doing something like fighting the war. Now this is a plane that's obviously been
Kamikaze plane.
shot down. It's a Mitsubishi. So this was like from Pearl Harbor, apparently. Quite amazing. But imagine being shot that many times. Crazy. So behind me they've got a shop. Well, all museums have got to have a shop. But I've got to say it's got some really nice stuff in it. Some good quality stuff and not bad prices.
So right here is the insides of a Lancaster bomber, and I'm pretty sure about 7,000 of these were built throughout the war and before, whenever. And if I'm correct, I read that there were 600,000 bombs dropped with these, which is quite a few.
Imagine being cramped up in there. Obviously that's where the bomber sat. The guy who dropped the bombs at the right time. And but it's surprising how small it is and cramped inside. It must have been cold as well. There's no insulation whatsoever. So there was a bit where someone viewed to drop the bombs, and there's gunners point there on the front. Obviously you can only shoot in one direction by the look of it, up and down. Can't shoot around the sides. But
I'm sure that was the side.
the cockpit up there where the pilot's obviously sitting. And then here, I don't know what that bit's for.
Fuel.
So this is a human torpedo apparently, and the divers will sit in it, propel themselves towards the warship, then they would put something on the ship and then get out of there very quickly, which would then it would explode, hopefully, and they'd be left to make their escape. So this is a typical house in the Second World War. Got mock-ups of that. It's amazing because I've actually, in my life, removed a few of these shelters. Some were brick, and some were Nissan shelters. Some were made of like corrugated iron sheet. Now I know this is a poster on the wall, but I think it's worth reading because it just sounds so similar to now, which I find absolutely terrifying. So what Indy's doing now is he's showing out headlines can influence people just by the change of words.
So you go from beaten. Would have brave though.
And you can publish it, and they even come up with a poster. It's Yeah, it's really clever. It also shows you the power of propaganda. So here's a Nissan hut. I do remember these being in the gardens, as I said before. And then you're sitting in there. How do you think sitting in one of these on a cold winter's night in England would be, Indy?
Fun. I mean, to be honest, I think if a bomb did come down on it,
It's hard to believe it survived, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then
sort of like, you know, them blinking sheds at the allotment.
Yeah.
Blinking on.
But I think the thing is with bombs, what you forget is like it's all the stuff flying around. So if you're in a house, loads of stuff can be flying around, like glass and stuff like that, if it's blown up. So you're in here, it's relatively less things to hit you, like shrapnel. But if you actually sort of think about it, sitting in one of these in the garden in the middle of winter, our mum used to sit, apparently they used to take them under the stairs, in the cupboard under the stairs. They used to sit in there because it was too cold to go in the garden. But it just shows the bloody mindedness of his nan. You know, I'm not letting the Germans defeat me. Crazy. This list very much reminds me of my nan's house. And it's been gone a long time now. Eve and George, Nan and Granddad. They had one of these lights, but I can't quite get the colours up. I suppose lots of people had them, but it seems really common. That explains why people like the fish and chips on a Friday. I didn't realise it's a bit of a tradition.
kijk deze. Dat is mensen die gaan met visa in. Dat is alles niet de boel. Kijk, keiner is de boel. Echt alles is de shit. Ich glaube, jetzt ausgehen normal nach Eden. Jetzt alle geschickt Postcards. Diese Postcards.
Ja.
Dann geschickt Postcards. Ja, was der Germans of the King. Dat de Bills op de also geschickt Postcards mit Schreibt, sagt geschrieben, das nicht
Ja, das ist schlimm.
dann gibt es dann Submarine boy always raised it.
So there you have it, the nuclear bomb. What it looks like. This one called Little Boy. Crazy. So we're going to make no apologies for the last bit of the film. Probably 5 minutes, I don't know, the last 5 minutes, I don't think we spoke on it. It was hard not to cry actually around that bit. It's quite upsetting for me. Yeah, for me what's really upsetting still, all this is going on in the world, nothing's changed, and that's the real sad thing. Now it doesn't glorify war in this museum. Actually, you come here and
I think it's a good mix.
oh no, I think it's totally opposite. I think if anything it's going to put you off of war, and I just hope people don't bury their heads in the sand and see what's going on around the world. If you've got kids, I think it's an amazing place to bring them. They're going to learn far more here than in any history lesson at school. And what do you think, Indy?
Honestly, it's a really great place to walk around, but it just really makes you realise how, I don't know, awful war is, I think. Don't you agree?
Needless, wasteful, and it's the normal people it affects. It's just the normal people.
I mean, as with any sort of review video though, should we be a bit more cheerful and rate where we've been?
Yeah, but just before we get there, one of the most striking things I found, the Holocaust bit, it's so upsetting, but you've almost got the same happening now. Israel sort of, I mean, they're just killing the hundreds and thousands of people in Gaza, and I know it's a bit of a different way, different story, but short memories really. It's almost like these are normal people. You know, you're not killing soldiers, people that have signed up. A lot of the people being killed in not just that area, people in Ukraine, they're normal people that just want to get on with their lives. So come on, leaders, you know, don't support these wars. don't make money from weapons. Maybe I'm being naive.
No, I completely agree.
Maybe I'm being naive, but it should be different.
Yeah.
Anyway, on a positive note,
We've really enjoyed it.
it's the best museum I've ever been in, and I'd totally encourage you to come here and have a look. It will upset you, but
No, it's very, very.
it's really worth it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. On that bombshell, I guess. On bombshell's probably the wrong thing.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next vlog. Hope you've enjoyed it in
Like
some
and
way
subscribe.
or learnt something. Sorry, it's been a bit upsetting.